For the longest time, I was concerned with being universal. I was concerned with not leaving people out of my narrative. And I think that's the burden of being black and being a writer, because there's something about you that always has to work harder to be more creative, to be extremely inclusive, whereas the white story is always the universal story. And so I was very much afraid of saying things like, well, I actually write about black womanhood, and so I don't know how you can find your way in there if you don't know about black womanhood, except if you're like witnessing it and observing it. I write from a particular location, which is black and which is woman, and so I feel like that is apparent in the work. I feel like it's specific. I write very small as well. I'm very careful about writing about like big themes, like, ooh, let's write about racism, but it's like, it's too big for me. It's too big a concept. But if I write about some personal event that happened, and then it's specific enough, it's also me speaking to myself most of the time. Or me speaking about a conversation that's being had, or I'm not always the narrator, right? There's always different women, black women, who are narrating, because that's the only voice I speak to. Like most of the people I know and love and respect and constantly have conversations with are black women. Exciting time to be black and a woman, because there's a lot of resisting that's happening. There are a lot of conversations that are very urgent and being had by black women, and whether or not you're willing to come to the table, black women are very much like, well, this conversation is happening anyway. I'm going to talk about rape culture. I'm going to talk about how much I don't want you to police my body. I'm going to be sex positive. I'm going to be affirming myself and my blackness in whatever way or form that might be happening, and that's happening like everywhere. And so that's a very exciting thing to be part of, to be witnessing, because I didn't have that growing up. Wherever you are in the world, with whatever you have and whatever talent you have, use that to tell your story in whatever way possible and put it up there. Don't be too scared to do it. If anything, don't be scared to do it. With whatever you have, with whatever you have to say, tell your story. Done. That's it.